Expectations were leveled entirely today when the Nintendo Direct opened with a new mainline Fire Emblem to kick off the live event. Fire Emblem Engage is FE17. Alear, the half-dragon royal brat with easily the most out-there lore design that would make any cosplayer blush, is our new main character. In today's video, I break down the first trailer in exhaustive detail and will hope to highlight details others may have missed. Without further ado, let's get started. We get a slow zoom in of Elyos, the name of this world, and funny enough, the way it's described is quite close to Fodlan, isn't it? Instead of 3 big territories, you have 4.
We live on the continent of Elyos, 4 realms surrounding a holy land at its center.
We have another slow zoom in of a mural which depicts lords from across the series, each equipped with a ring. We have Marth from FE1 and 3 and its remakes, Celica from Gaiden and Echoes, not Ulm, Sigurd from Genealogy of the Holy War, who while wields lances in his base class, he is not depicted with the Tyrfing, although he does have the Tyrfing in gameplay. Leaf from Thracia 776, Roy from Binding Blade, Lyn from Blazing Sword, who, while is the first playable character in FE7, is not the main character, who is Eliwood, Erica from Sacred Stones, who is here over Ephraim, Ike from Path of Radiance, and it's worth noting that Ragnell is not here, and instead Irvon. And Ike is using his Brave variant from Fire Emblem Heroes, it seems, which is designed after Grail, his father. Micaiah from Radiant Dawn, Lucina from Awakening, who is not wielding the falchion and instead her bow from Heroes as well in her legendary variant, Corrin from Fates, and Mael Byleth from Three Houses. Now I know there's some divisiveness over the Lord representation here, but I completely expect that these aren't the only characters reappearing for this game. While yes, it's strange and to some insulting that Lyn would be picked over Eliwood or Celica would be picked over Ulm, given the cast of this game is probably going to be normally sized, it would be a shockingly bad idea to not include the other lords like Seliph, Ulm, Eliwood, Hector, Ephraim, Crom, Robin, and even the 3 Fodlan leaders, so I would say stay optimistic. That is my plan going forward. At 14 seconds, we're shown a dragon called the Fel Dragon, the same moniker to Grima, but it's unknown / unlikely it's the same character, as this one looks quite different.
1,000 years ago, our lands endured a vicious war with the Fel Dragon. We called upon heroes from other worlds to aid us, heroes known as emblems.
Interesting how the original conflict in Elyos took place 1,000 years ago, and every Lord character mentioned in the mural was called upon once before. So another 1,000 years pass, and once again they will be called again. So it's been quite a while. And it makes me wonder if they will already be familiar with Aalir, who had been asleep presumably since the conflict against the Fel Dragon. I am getting some Awakening vibes here. For those unfamiliar, in that game, the Exalt, wielding the falchion, would be destined to slay Grima and put him to sleep every 1,000 years. It was only until Robin sacrificed themselves to destroy Grima for good that made the cycle end there. Not saying that this dark magic guy will be one-to-one with Valadar or anything, but it just reminded me of that. At 50 seconds, Aalir is introduced. They grab a ring as they appear to be confronting a giant white dragon, looking very, very confused. At 58 seconds afterwards, we're introduced to a white-haired girl whose dress at the bottom has red and blue stripes below. Is there a connection between the new main character and her? This series is no stranger to tiny dragon girls. Then we're shown cutscenes of the new main character fighting. A red-haired sword user using a fiery sword, some girl kicking foes while spinning her staff, and a mage casting fire magic. As we'll see later, these allies of Aalir will be making use of emblems as well. At 1 minute and 39 seconds, our first peek at the gameplay. And I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. Seemingly smaller map sizes so far, and villages are back, which were absent in Three Houses. And forts look like forts now. The top-down perspective, and even the maps themselves, strike very close to classic Fire Emblem, with the UI at the bottom, while plain cleanly displays relevant stats and abilities, and attack order is a new touch that I really like. Aalir's class is Dragon Child, and fittingly, they're considered a dragon unit. They wield a sword called Libération, or Liberation. Also, the weapon triangle is back, which is cool. Always been a fan of that one. At 1 minute and 41 seconds, as they fight, Vander, the Jagan, explains that Aalir is a divine dragon, a member of a royal family of dragons seen as gods in Elyos.
If I may, you are a divine dragon, a member of a royal family of dragons revered as deities.
Divine dragons have a long history in Fire Emblem. Some notable divine dragons of series past were Goto, Naga, Tiki, Nagi, and Idun, among several others, like Rhea. They are the rarest of Manicheets, even though we see them the most in stories. Historically, they are the wisest and most rational of the dragon tribes, often coming up with ingenious solutions to keep themselves safe from their own demise or keeping themselves out of the affairs of the rest of the world. From crafting dragon stones to preserve their power and avoid the fate of all dragons from going insane, to staying out of the scouring in Elyos, to Naga themselves, who gifted the 12 Crusaders dragon blood so as to wield divine weapons in the Holy War. With all this in mind, I wonder if their ingenuity, or if other notable divine dragons like Naga, Tiki, or Sothis will appear in this game. While explaining what divine dragons are, he's shown battling an enemy. While everything checks out, he does have a speed penalty, and it makes me wonder how attack speed will be calculated, but also if it will be easier to understand in this game as opposed to other games like Three Houses. Attack speed has, in my experience, been a poorly explained equation in the past games, so hopefully it will be more streamlined here. There are more battle interactions that occur, with Fram being the most noteworthy of the few, who at 1 minute and 53 seconds shows brawling is back from Three Houses. Unlike that game though, fighting scrolls appear to be replacing gauntlets, and she's fighting an Elysian soldier. At 2 minutes and 1 seconds, we then cut to the gimmick of this game, Emblem Rings. Per the gameplay footage, lords from previous games appear to be summonable via their respective emblem rings when these are equipped by the units. This is shown when Aalir equips Marth's ring, displaying a bond level of 6 with some EXP below it, hinting that it can be increased. When equipped, the wearer of the ring will get boosts in stats, so it is kind of like pair-up in that sense. Marth also has his own set of skills: Perceptive, Break Defenses, Divine Speed, and Lodestar Rush, and has the Rapier equipped. Other stats in this menu that are curious is BLD and SP. BLD is often short for Build, which may be in relation to Constitution, which would have to do with determining attack speed, and rescuing if that's in this game. SP could mean something like skill points, but it could also not be. We'll see what that means in time. Aalir and Marth trigger Perceptive, and Break Defense activates against the Ruffian. Afterwards, in 2 minutes and 7 seconds, we're shown the Lance user Alfred using Sigurd's ring. Sigurd provides a boost in move, build, and various other stats. Alfred has the Self-Improver skill and is a cavalry unit. Sigurd, meanwhile, comes with Rider's Bane and has the skills Canter, which I think might be Canto, I'm not sure, Gallop, and Override. As seen with type bonus from Override, it seems like some rings are better suited to some movement types. At 2 minutes and 12 seconds, Aalir explores a town very reminiscent of Garreg Mach's exploration in Three Houses, which features a church, a stable, a marketplace, a fishing spot, and some kind of forging or ore store. For a brief second, you can see Marth being able to be talked to like normal NPCs. Then, at 2 minutes and 17 seconds, we see it's possible to customize the outfit of the game's roster, as shown with Citrine, swapping shirts. If you look closely, an icon for face accessories is also an option, though we're not shown any of that in the trailer. At 2 minutes and 20 seconds, Aalir and Marth appear to merge up, which gives Aalir a new sword and access to Marth's sword, Mercurius, which was a very strong PRF weapon for Marth in the Arcanea games. In the transformed state, they grow wings and strike twice before the Elysian enemy even has a chance to retaliate. Then we're shown more combat between Alfred and Sigurd, where they activate skills Override and Momentum. The new character, Celine, is also seen teaming up with Celica. She's a noble, and in her inventory she has an iron sword, Ragnarok, an unknown tome, a staff, and a vulnerary. She's also seen to be able to warp within the movement distance of other enemies, and she scorches an enemy armor knight with Ragnarok in a very fitting to Celica, beautiful animation. It's also worth noting that Micaiah and Roy's rings are being used here too. At 2 minutes and 46 seconds, the camera focuses on an enemy emperor looking guy with red hair unsheathing his sword. Then we get a short bit where some evil looking mage is putting on a ring similar to the ones used to summon heroes, but with a purple glow. Perhaps the antagonists will have their own summonable antagonist to fight back. Then we see two armies clashing, the Fel Dragon and Marth and Alear opening a door together, followed by box art with some notable playable characters on full display, and a release date of January 20th, 2023. Here is some more relevant information. We got a confirmation via Twitter that Mika Picasso is Fire Emblem Engage's character designer. Pre-release artwork also shows official art of female Aalir, and the Japanese Twitter account shows us this game's Anna. Outside of the trailer, Fire Emblem Engage Divine Edition includes an art book, steelbook, a set of cards with original character art, and a poster. And that's it for now. For those curious and are asking, but the leaks, what about the leaks? I will go over the leaks from months ago in a follow-up video to this one. I just want to keep this video condensed to what was publicly approved by Nintendo for now. And you know, some folks may not want to be spoiled, no matter how minor, from the leaks, which includes other playable characters and names. With that all said, thank you so much for watching this trailer breakdown. I am Fargast, and my channel is completely dedicated to Fire Emblem content. I have a sick obsession with this series, and I cover a lot of characters, lore, mechanics, everything. And I'll be covering news of this game as more information on it gets revealed. And if you're new to my channel and you saw this video in your recommended and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. The channel is less than 1,500 subscribers away from 100,000, and your support would help the channel finally reach that goal. Enjoy your week and stay tuned for more Fire Emblem Engage coverage soon. Deuces.
Thank you.